On page 96, we see there are three main kinds: gerunds, participles, and infinitives. So the first one type is gerund. These are verbs that end in ing but act like nouns. For example, reading is fun. Here, reading is the verb ending in ing and which is called gerund. Participles, these are past or present forms used to describe things. And the third kind is infinitive. This is the base form of a verb usually used with the word to. For example, to eat. Here, eat is the main verb and we put here to with the main verb eat. On the page number 97, here is the detail about gerund and uses of gerund. Look at the top of page 97. It says the gerund is a verb with the ending ing, which is also used as a noun. This means it looks like an action like jogging or swimming, but in the sentence it acts like a name or a thing. It does not change based on the time means tense, or the person speaking. For example, jogging is an excellent exercise. Here, jogging is the subject. We are talking about the activity itself. Yes, but I love swimming. Here, swimming is the object. It's the thing that I love. Here are some uses of gerund: as a subject, as a direct object, as a subjective complement, and use after prepositions. So the first one is used as a subject. Smoking is injurious to health. The act of smoking is the topic. Second use is as a direct object. He enjoys arguing. Here, what does he enjoy? He enjoys arguing. Third, as a subjective complement, her favorite pastime is sleeping. This explains what her pastime is. Use after prepositions. She is debarred from appearing in the examination. We use the ing form, which is gerund, and we used after the preposition from. On the page number 97, now let's look at the infinitive. An infinitive is simply to plus verb, like to eat, to sleep, or to play. It names an action without being tied or to a specific person or time. For example, to reach there is difficult. Here, to reach used as the subject. She tried to calm me down. Here, to calm used as the object. Remember, an infinitive is just the base form of a verb, usually starting with the word to, like to eat, to sleep, or to play. Let's look at the different ways we can use it in a sentence. Here are some uses of infinitives: use as a subject, use as an object of the verb, use as an objective complement, and use as a complement of the adjective. First, we can use the infinitive as a subject. This means the infinitive is what the whole sentence is about. For example, to reach there is difficult. Here, the act of reaching a place is the main topic. To reach is the subject of the verb is. Next, we can use it as an object. This usually follows an action verb to shows what the action is directed toward. For example, she tried to calm me down. What did she try? She tried to calm down. To calm is the object of the verb tried. The third one used is as an objective complement. Now this sounds a bit fancy, but it's quite simple. An objective complement follows the object of the sentence and tells us more about what that object is doing. For example, he encouraged me to sing. Me is the object. To sing tells us what I was encouraged to do. It completes the idea. Next use is as a complement of the adjective. Sometimes an infinitive comes right after an adjective, like a word that describes someone or something to give more detail. For example, she is not prepared to lead the team. Prepared is the adjective. To lead explains what she is not prepared for. Here is the green box, which is about complements. Some words are not objects, but they are necessary to make the sentence make sense. These are called complements. If they tell us about the subject, we can call them subjective complement. For example, the students are extremely boisterous. Boisterous means noisy and energetic. This phrase tells us the state of the students. Class, we have already studied about complements, so that's why I will briefly describe the complements. Complements are the information or more detail about something. It can be objective complement or it can be subjective complement. Next, the bare infinitive. Sometimes we use the infinitives without the word to. We call this the bare infinitive. Look at the example on page number 98. For example, we saw me run to the class. We don't say to run. Let him go. We don't say to go. Now let's talk about participles. These are verb forms that act like adjectives to describe nouns, present participle and past participles. So the present participles are verb plus ing. For example, the moving object. Moving describes the object. Second, past participle. Past participles are verbs with ed, end, n, or t. For example, ended, spoken, smiled, proven, and sent. How do we use them? We can use them as a subject, as a subjective complement, as an objective complement. So the first use is as a subject. A rolling stone gathers no moss. Here, rolling describes the stone. Second, as a subjective complement, the film is very boring. Boring describes the film. As an objective complement, I saw them leaving the field. Leaving describes what them were doing. Here is exercise B. Read the statement. Rewrite the sentences given below by using gerunds instead of infinitives. One has been done as an example. So, first we will be identify the sentences that where infinitives have used, and then we will be change it into gerund. So the infinitive form is to plus main verb and the gerunds are verb in ing. So let's start. The first sentence is to give the children huge sums as pocket money is not wise. This one sentence has been done as an example. Here to give is the infinitive and we changed this word to give into giving, and the rest of the sentence will be same. Children huge sums of pocket money is not wise. In the second sentence, it was a good gesture on Hamad's part to thank his professors. Here to thank is the infinitive and we will be changed this into gerund. So how we will say? Thanking his professor, we will be take this one phrase. To thank his professor, we will be take this phrase. Thanking his professor was a good gesture on Hamad's part. Third sentence, the responsibility to prove the guilt of the accused lies with the police. Here to prove is the infinitive and we will be changed this into gerund. So how it will be changed? The responsibility for proving the guilt of accused lies with the police. Next sentence, to send out invitations is easy. To organize the party is more difficult. Here are two infinitives, to send and to organized. So both will be changed. Sending out invitations is easy. Organizing the party is more difficult. Both has been changed into gerunds. To cook well is an art mastered only by a few. The sentence will be cooking well is an art mastered only by a few. The only way to succeed in life is to work hard. The only way of succeeding in life is working hard. To be honest to oneself is one of the most difficult things to do. Being honest to oneself is one of most difficult thing to do. It is not healthy to sleep less than 6 hours every day. Sleeping less than 6 hours every day is not healthy. Not to let others speak is a very bad habit. Not letting others speak is a very bad habit. To climb a flight of stairs can be an excellent exercise. Climbing a flight of stairs can be an excellent exercise. It is not always possible to achieve perfection in everything. Achieving perfection in everything is not always possible. It really helps to have a good night's sleep before an exam. Having a good night's sleep before an exam really helps. To drive along the coast needs some amount of skill. Driving along the coast needs some amount of skill. It was very nice of her to treat me to an ice cream. Treating me to an ice cream was very nice of her. To stand straight and pull ourselves upwards is a very good exercise. Standing straight and pulling ourselves upwards is a very good exercise. This was our exercise B and you will rewrite all the sentences here on the page. Now we are practicing how to use participles to fill in the blanks. Now look at the brackets at the end of each sentence. You will see a base form like talk, bark, give, interest, etc. Our work is to change that verb into a participle, either an ing form or an ed or en form. So it can act like an adjective to describe the noun in the sentence. Let's go through them one by one. First, we will read the statement. Use the correct form of the verbs given in the brackets to fill in the blanks with participles. So let's see the first sentence. Is this a dash parrot? In the first sentence, we have the word talk in bracket. The noun we are describing is parrot. Since the parrot is the one performing the action of talking, we add ing to the verb. So talk becomes talking. The result of this sentence is this a talking parrot? Second sentence, the dash dog gave chase to the thief. We see the verb bark. We are describing a dog. The dog is actively making the sound. So we use the present participle barking. We add ing to the bark to get barking. The result of this sentence is the barking dog gave chase to the thief. Next sentence is he kept sitting in the dash car. The verb is park and the noun is car. Does the car park itself? No, someone else parked it and now it is in that state. For a completed action or state, we use the past participles. So we will be add here ed to park to get park. So the final sentence will be he kept sitting in the park car. Next, do the dash sums. The verb is keep. We are talking about sums. Sums are the math problems. These problems were provided to us by someone else. The past participle of give is irregular. It is given. So the sentence will be do the given sums. Next, it was an dash story. Here we have the verb interest. A story is something that causes a feeling in us. When something causes a feeling, we use the ing form. So the interest becomes interesting. Sentence will be it was an interesting story. Sentence number 6. There was dash glass lying scattered on the ground. The verb is break. The glass is already in pieces. The action is finished. So the past participle of break will be broken. The past participle of break is broken. So the sentence will be there was broken glass lying scattered on the ground. Sentence number 7. Sometimes stage salt can help a person regain consciousness. The verb is smell. This salt is specifically for the purpose of smelling to wake someone up. We use the ing form here, smelling. Sometimes smelling salt can help a person regain consciousness. Sentence number 8. It was important to save the lives of the Danish soldiers. The verb is wound. The soldiers have already received injuries. We use the past participle ed to show their condition. It was important to save the lives of the wounded soldiers. Sentence number 9. Seema was having a tough time dealing with a Danish customer. The verb is complain. This describes a customer who is currently expressing unhappiness. Because the customer is doing the action right now, we use ing. Seema was having a tough time dealing with a complaining customer. The last one sentence is the principal listened carefully to the Danish parents. Finally, we have concern. The parents are feeling worried or concerned. When describing a person's feeling or state, we usually use the ed form. The principal listened carefully to the concerned parents, and that is how you do it. Just remember, use ing if the noun is doing the action and use ed or the past form if the action happened to the noun. Now here is exercise D. Underline the gerunds and participles in the following sentences and write G and P under them respectively. So we will be used here short form of gerund G and P is the short form for participles. First we will be underline the words and then we will be label this. She gave a piece of cake to the crying child. Underline to this word crying, and this is participle because it acts as an adjective describing child. Second sentence, the purring kid snuggled up to Alma. Here underline to purring, and this is participle because it acts as an adjective describing cat. Third sentence, the frantically waving lady turned out to be my aunt. Here waving word we will be underlined and waving is the participle. It acts as an adjective describing lady. Sentence fourth, the library is meant for reading. Reading we will be underlined and this is gerund act as a noun. It is the object of the preposition for. Next sentence, the cat needs a loving family. Here you will underline loving word. It acts as an adjective describing family. Singing for the school choir is a matter of pride. Singing is the gerund and it acts as a noun. It is the subject of the sentence. Did his shouting wake you up? Here shouting word you will be underlined and it is a gerund because it acts as a noun. It is the subject of the action. Next sentence, knowing that the walk would be long and difficult, he wrote sturdy shoes. Here knowing word is a participle phrase and waving word is a participle phrase modifying the subject he. Complaining often does not help solve one's problem. Complaining is the gerund and act as a noun. It is the subject of the sentence. Shaking hand is not common as a form of greeting to all cultures. Here two gerunds in this sentence. The first one is shaking. Shaking is a gerund, act as a noun. And the second one is greeting. Greeting also is the gerund and act as a noun used as object of the preposition of. Next sentence, remembering that her dog was alone, Rija rushed back home. Here remembering word shows a participle phrase modifying the subject Rija. On the next page here is 12th sentence. Sitting in one place for a very long time can cause a backache. Here sitting is the gerund. It is the subject of the sentence. Next sentence. Having one's cake and eating it too can be very satisfying. Here are two gerund words in this sentence. These are the subjects and objects in the phrase. And the third one word in this sentence is satisfying, which is the participle. It describes the state of the cake or experience. Second last sentence is the dancing girl seemed to be float across the stage effortlessly. Here dancing is the participle. It describes the girl. The last one sentence is the leaning tower of Pisa is a world famous tourist attraction. Here leaning is the participle. It describes the Tower of Pisa. The last one exercise of this chapter is exercise E. First of all, we will be reading statement. Complete the sentence by using suitable infinitives, gerunds, and participles. The first one sentence is he tried hard. Right there to stand. Second sentence, she knows how to swim well. I do not know how I'm going to reach the school on time. Our parents love us and want us to be happy. The weeping child sobbed inconsolably. Here we will write weeping. I love Dash in my car. Driving, the dash face of the teacher set my mind at rest. Smiling, dash through the night and joining the office in the morning is not easy. Traveling, his hard work is the dash force behind his success. Driving, the dash child clapped his hand in glee. Laughing, it is dangerous to board a dash train. Moving, he was moving through the crowd. Dash slowly. Walking, dash dogs seldom bite. Barking, dash is a good exercise. Running, I find dash more difficult than dash. In the first blank you will write drawing and in the second blank you will write painting. So let us discuss that which words shows to infinitives, gerunds and participles. To stand, to swim, to reach and to be happy. These are the infinitives because we add here to with the main verbs. Weeping child, smiling face, striving forcefully in sentence 8, laughing child, moving train, barking dogs and walking slowly. These are the participles and used as adjectives. I love driving, traveling, running is a good exercise, drawing and painting. These are the gerunds and used as nouns in these sentences. So now we have completed our finite and non-finite chapter.